There's a phase in semen retention that most men are not prepared for. It's not the confidence, it's not the energy, it's not the attraction. It's the part where it feels like you're losing yourself. Your habits start disappearing, your desires begin to change. The things that once defined you no longer feel the same. And if you don't understand what's happening, it can feel confusing, even uncomfortable. But sometimes what feels like losing yourself is actually you becoming who you are meant to be. When I first started this journey, I was a varsity student playing semi-professional soccer. I've always been good looking and never really had a problem with girls. But over time, I started noticing something. My performance in the field wasn't as strong as it could be. My energy wasn't there. My confidence wasn't as high, especially when I had been fooling around with women. It reminded me of the movie Rocky, where the coach tells him that women weaken legs before a fight. That stuck with me. So in my second last year, I came across the practice of semen retention, and it changed my life completely. I went a few weeks without distractions from women and held my seed, my life force. My performance went through the roof. That year, I became the player of the season. But of course, I fell back into old habits. When I reached the top, I became complacent. Temptation crept back in. And that's when I realized something important. Semen retention isn't something you master overnight. I had tasted the power, but I didn't understand what I was holding, what I was grasping. It was my own life force. A year later, I returned to my hometown, and that's when I started taking it seriously. I began going to the gym more consistently, not just soccer training, but building my overall physique. I fully committed to semen retention. For 6 months, I stayed disciplined no matter what temptation came my way. I built the body I always wanted. I developed a real sense of purpose. And during that time, I met the girl I'm still with today. But over the next 3 years, something slowly started slipping. My discipline weakened. Comfort crept in. Even though I was still practicing retention during the week, I would release on the weekends. At the same time, I still had underlying habits I hadn't fully removed. I would go out, I would drink, I would stay around environments that were helping me grow. Eventually, my girlfriend and I moved in together, and I started releasing even more. Not long after that, my health started declining. I removed alcohol, I removed caffeine, and that's when things got worse, at least at first. But what I didn't understand at the time was this. My body wasn't breaking, it was healing. Years of damage was finally catching up. Everything inside me was being forced to reset. That's when retention truly saved me. When I committed to it again, my healing accelerated. But it didn't feel easy. Everything I had suppressed started coming out. Withdrawal symptoms hit hard. My body felt overwhelmed and I didn't understand what was happening. That's when I found faith in God. Through all the uncertainty, one thing became clear. God would not abandon me. Every symptom, every uncomfortable moment, every day my body felt like it was breaking, God was there. This practice was there. I began trusting Him. I began trusting my body. And slowly everything changed. The fear disappeared, the anxiety faded. I realized that every cell in my body knew exactly what it needed to do to heal and to rebuild. The realization was that after everything I went through, I learned something powerful. Most of what I was experiencing wasn't weakness. It was stress, it was pressure. It was the constant burden of trying to perform, trying to impress, trying to keep up. And once all of that started leaving my life, I became content. I no longer needed validation. I no longer needed to prove anything to anyone. And semen retention played a huge role in that transformation. So why does it feel like you're losing yourself on semen retention? I prepared 5 points for you guys. So number 1, you lose your old identity. Brother, the version of you that relied on stimulation, validation and distraction begins to fade, and that can feel uncomfortable. Because for a long time, that's who you were. Number 2, you lose the need for constant validation. You stop chasing approval, you stop needing attention, and without that external feedback, it can feel like something is missing. But in reality, you're becoming self-sufficient. Thirdly, your body begins resetting. When you remove the constant stimulation, your body goes through a full reset, and that can feel discomfort. When I stopped caffeine, I felt fatigue, I felt mood changes, withdrawal symptoms, and the same with any other addiction. Alcohol, nicotine, everything that I've been doing that was destructive. It was all a part of healing. You let go of control. That's number 4. This is one of the biggest shifts. You stop trying to control everything. You stop forcing the outcomes. Instead, you start trusting. And that can feel like you're losing control, but in truth, you're gaining alignment. When I was going through difficult times with my health, I would search symptoms on ChatGPT. I would be worried about every sensation in my body. But when I finally let go of that and started trusting, that's when my body finally had the chance to fully heal. So number 5, God begins removing what doesn't belong. Sometimes it's not you losing yourself. It's God removing what no longer aligns with your path, habits, environments, even parts of your old lifestyle. And while it feels like a loss, it's actually preparation. So if you're in that phase right now, where things feel uncertain, brother, where you feel like you're losing yourself, brother, understand this. You're not falling apart, you're getting rebuilt, you're getting stronger, you're getting clearer, you're getting more aligned. Because sometimes, before a man becomes who he's meant to be, he has to let go of who he used to be.